Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Stand Out in the Crowd, How to Leverage Your Online Reputation to Gain New Clients as part of the Industry Insight series. Our speakers today are Tyler Roberts and Haley Sontag. Tyler serves as the Regional Director of Sales for Podium, a software-as-a-service platform that helps businesses interact with their customers through SMS text messaging and influence purchasing decisions by streamlining the collection and management of online reviews. Tyler received his BS in Business Management from Brigham Young University and is experienced in helping businesses manage their customer experience programs and digital marketing efforts. In his free time, he enjoys skiing and spending time with his wife doing various outdoor activities. Haley Sontag has worked in many areas of marketing at Podium. She mainly focuses on driving demand through industry-specific publications and advertising. Haley received her BS from Brigham Young University in marketing. Her passion is understanding the market through research and customer feedback. In her free time, she enjoys trying new restaurants and going to the movies. The presentation today will be followed by a Q&A. Please enter your questions into the question box in the webinar panel on the right side of your screen. All questions will be addressed at the end of the presentation. We are recording this webinar and we will be sending the video in a follow-up email in a few days. We will also post the video on our blog at www.lawtechnologytoday.org. Thank you all for joining us. We'll now begin the webinar.
Hey, this is Tyler Roberts. It's great to be with you all today. Pretty excited about what we're going to be going over today. Want to just go over the agenda of the things we're going to cover. Overall, we want to help law firms modernize the way that they are being found online. The way that a client looks for an attorney is completely different than it was 5 years ago, and completely foreign to how it was 10 years ago. And so our goal is to help modernize firms to get to be where they need to be so they can adapt to these new search trends here. And so what we're going to go over today, number one is why local search matters, how you can rank in local search, and then step three is just overall how to exploit Google's local search algorithm by collecting reviews and steps of how to go about that. Awesome. So we'll start with why local search matters. Now, this is something that we all should be pretty familiar with. You know, Google is pretty much the internet now. When we're looking up anything, we begin there. We actually see that 87% of all searches for a product or service begins on Google. And so how you're being pulled up there is going to make a huge impact on your bottom line. Now, there's two types of searches. One is organic and one is local. Organic search is the search if you're looking for anything that is just like a product, definition, something like that. It usually shows up the first couple of results there. Local search is going to be based on location signals. So if you're using any sort of near me in Salt Lake City, Utah, in Los Angeles, any sort of location signal, that is what is going to result in local searches.
And the local search, that's when you will see the Google Map pack come up. So you search law firm near me, and it'll take that location signal and come up with the three top results. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but that's kind of what we're talking about when we mention local search. And it's crazy how much the customer journey has changed in recent years. And how technology has played a role in that. As you see here, 72% of U.S. adults own a smartphone, and that's only increasing. And like we mentioned, near me searches have become the norm. People, they no longer say, law firm in Salt Lake City. They will sometimes, but with Google's advanced algorithm, they can tell exactly where they are. And now they just say law firm near me and expect Google to know exactly where they are because that's more convenient for them. And so that's what is driving these searches, is where they are and the convenience factor.
Absolutely. And, even to dive into it even deeper to what Haley was saying is people are looking for the best, right? Amazon has trained us, for better or for worse, and conditioned us to look for the best product that's out there. Even if you were recommended, a product by a friend or a close family member and you looked it up on Amazon and it didn't have good reviews, but you saw a lot of other products with thousands of great reviews, those reviews, even though they're left by people you have no clue who they are going to sway and influence your purchase decision. The same works for law firms.
I actually have a funny story that goes along with that. My husband's birthday was a couple months ago, and I decided to get him a pillow, which may seem like a funny gift to give, but he needed a new pillow. So I searched on Amazon, and I was looking at all the different pillows. I had never tried them. Buying a pillow online is somewhat difficult, but I read reviews, and I spent, the good portion of an hour looking at reviews of pillows, and I chose the pillow with the best reviews because that's what I trusted. They had the most reviews, and they had a good quality score. I read some of the reviews, and they were specific and they didn't seem very generic, so I trusted those reviews even more. I bought a pillow, and he turned out to like it, so I guess it worked out for me.
Exactly, and that's how we go about everything. We're looking for a pillow, like Haley said, looking for a restaurant, and I got in a car accident, I need an attorney, looking for best car accident attorney near me. That is how we look for things. That's how the bulk of the market is going to be finding your firm. So I agree 100%. Now, the interesting thing with best searches is with Google's latest update, anytime the word best is used in search, Google is actually going to only show businesses that are ranked above 4 stars on Google. So if your firm is ranked at a 3.8 or 3.7 star rating on Google currently, you actually are non-existent in any type of best search. So yeah, feel free to pull out your phone, see where your firm is at. And if you are below that 4-star rating, hopefully it doesn't take more than a few reviews to get above that, so you can be, a result in those search queries.
And that's just trending upward. It's grown 80% in the past 2 years, and that's just going to keep going up. So reviews are becoming more and more important for a firm and a business in general. And we see here, along the same lines as how technology has changed the customer journey, 76% of people who conducted a local search on their smartphone visit a physical place within 24 hours. And that may be different with a law firm. Maybe they don't visit your place. Maybe they just reach out to you and schedule an appointment. But the point is when they are searching for something near me, they have that intent to purchase, and they are going to follow through with that. They want that. They have a need. They want it fulfilled now, and they'll go to whichever store or firm is most convenient for them.
Absolutely. And, when they get in a car accident, they need an attorney right then. If they, have any sort of, issues that they need an attorney, it's usually, pretty immediate there. And so, being, like Haley said, being the most convenient choice for them is going to make a huge impact on your bottom line. Now, you might, know of the firms. Of course, you probably know the firms that have giant billboards, do a great job, and spend a lot of money of branding. The funny thing we see is, although they have a great brand and do a great job, if they're not convenient to get a hold of, they're not going to be capturing a lot of those leads that they're sending people to find them on Google. For example, if I see a billboard for someone, very rarely am I going to pull out my phone and, sit there, stop my car, and call the number on that billboard, even if it's, some catchy, line of sevens, which is easy to type in. I'm going to look up that law firm or look up, a generic search, law firms, personal injury attorneys near me, or estate planning attorneys near me. And then from there, I can call an attorney with a click of a button there. So this is the way that consumers are changing. We're not typing in numbers anymore. We need to be found where people are looking. So, even though you might have great branding and spend a lot of money on billboards, you may be spending that money to send people to other law firms.
Along with that, when people pass your billboard, they may not necessarily need a personal injury lawyer or whatever the advertisement is for. They may not need that right then. And with the explosion of mobile devices in recent years, customers are doing more and more research on their mobile phone while on the go when they have a need. This has created what Google calls micro moments, which is when a customer knows what they want to purchase and has the intent to buy, but needs to be connected with a business. And that's not necessarily when they're walking down the street and they see an advertisement. That's when they have the need, they search on their phone for law firm near me. So we'll go in now how you can rank in local search. We've talked about why it's important. Now we're going to go into kind of how you can rank for it. And we have a few different tips here. The first one is claim your business. This one is huge. We'll go into a little bit more detail on the next slide, but claiming your business on Google My Business is free, and it's really important. The next thing we have here is review and update details for accuracy. You know, if your business changes locations and you don't update that on your Google My Business page, people are going to be confused. And if it's, you see here at the pro tip, make sure your name, address, and phone number, also called NAP, exactly matches on each directory profile. So this is really important if you move locations, but it's also important for if you're on, you know, 123 East, you know, whatever street, and you spell out street, S-T-R-E-E-T, make sure that's the exact same on each of your listings. If it comes up on one where it's just S-T, Google will see that and it'll have a harder time connecting that that's the exact same business. So that's a really important one.
Absolutely. And another important is uploading photos. If you don't have any photos uploaded, you know, again, this is a good time to pull out your phone and look up how your firm looks. These are going to be, if you don't have any photos uploaded, it's usually going to be photos that other people have uploaded or the Google Maps Street View. And so it doesn't take long. I'm sure you guys have some logos or some, you know, great photo shoot pictures of the firm, the team there. Uploading a couple of those will make your Google My Business page look even better.
Even if you don't have any professional photos, you can just take out your phone. Each of us most likely has a pretty decent camera in our pocket right now, and you can go in, take a picture of your storefront, take a picture of the first room, the waiting room when they walk in. You know, take a picture of your staff members, whatever it may be, upload those so your potential customers know what to expect when they come into your firm.
Absolutely. And next one, including keywords. This is super important, especially in legal services, is law firm near me. Maybe something that people are searching, but if they're looking for a car accident attorney, Google has actually set up all these subcategories within law firms. So you can actually say personal injury attorney, or estate planning attorney, or family, you know, law attorney. All of those will help people that are looking for you get connected faster and better with you. Now, if you have a law firm that handles multiple different practices, what we'd recommend is, you know, still have like general practice attorney or law firm, and then, you know, really boosting your reviews. And we'll kind of get into how the review content will help them get connected there. But if you're looking to grow one side of your firm, you are actually able to edit this. And so, you know, you actually can pivot in one way or another to, you know, be a personal injury attorney for a couple of months. And then if you want to, you know, grow the family side of your practice, you can go back to, you know, divorce attorney near me.
Final tip we have is keep your hours of operation up to date. If you're closed on Memorial Day, make sure that's on your listing. If you're open on Memorial Day, make sure that's there so people know if they can contact you and when you'll respond if they do reach out.
Awesome. Now, kind of what we were talking about earlier, claim your Google business page. Hopefully this has been done. If not, now it's time to do it. It's completely free. All you'll need to do, you can do this on your phone right now. Look up your Google page where it says claim, claim that. If you don't have one already made, then we'd recommend following these tips to, you know, to create that. It usually takes, you know, no longer than a week for them to send a postcard to you to, you know, have you, you know, verify that that is an actual business there. But in most cases, Google has actually already created it for you and it's ready just to be claimed.
Yeah, my husband has his own business and I actually did this for him just a few months ago. It was really easy and simple. So it's something you can do today and then get it claimed and then you can verify it by Google via postcard or whatever that you choose.
Awesome. Now, why online reviews matter. This is the most important content you can have on your Google My Business page. Your satisfied clients are your most powerful marketing tool, okay? 93% of consumers say that online reviews impact purchase decisions, and 90% say they won't even consider a business with a 1 or 2 star rating. Now, you know, being in the legal services industry, just a little bit of background, I've been with Podium for actually 3 years now. I've been in legal services for over a year now, but before that, I was in the automotive services, I was, spent some time in the home services industry as well. And there is not an industry at a bigger disadvantage when it comes to online reviews than attorneys. The few people that go out of their way to leave reviews for attorneys tend to be the few that are extremely upset. When by and large, most of your clients, you're providing a ton of value. Maybe even if the case wasn't favorable, or you guys did your best, and most clients are able to see that there. And so having 1 or 2 star rating, if you're in that situation, odds are it's a very inaccurate representation online. And the problem is that your happy clients weren't able to leave a 5-star review because that process wasn't easy for them.
And we'll go over a little bit later, the best practices for getting more reviews, because everyone will get a negative review at some point if they're asking for reviews, because we're all human. Not everything works out perfectly for the customer every time. But something we will mention later is you can drown out those negative reviews with the majority of your customers that are happy, as long as you make it easy for them to leave a review. So now we'll talk a little bit about how reviews influence the entire journey. So we know they're important. People look at them, they see them better as a recommendation from a personal family member or friend, but they influence the entire journey. So awareness, it's what we talked about. People find you, they search best law firm near me, and yours comes up first because it has the best reviews and a bunch of other factors, but that is one of them. They find you, and then they're not even going to consider you if you have less than a 1 or 2 star rating or 3.3, as we saw on the last slide. And then decision. Do your reviews build trust and reflect the experience they can expect? If you just have 1 or 2 reviews and one is negative and one is positive, they're not going to be able to trust those reviews enough that it'll reflect the experience they can expect. Yeah, someone was unhappy, they left a negative review, and someone was happy, they left a positive review, but what can they expect? Is it really a 50-50 chance that they're going to have a good experience, or is that not a good representation of what they can?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. Especially, thinking back to this Amazon example that we keep going back to, is even if, a product ranks higher on Amazon coming up, if the one right below it has thousands more reviews and has a much better star rating, you can bet that you're going to choose that item. Ranking is great, but we want the best. And so making sure that your firm has that highest star rating in your respective area and location is going to make a huge impact on the amount of qualified leads you get.
There are a lot of things that influence how you rank on Google, and nobody knows exactly what those factors are, but we do know that reviews play a huge role in that. And Google's algorithm factors in the number of reviews you have, how often they're coming in, what your overall star rating is, and also what people are saying in the reviews. If it's a 5-star rating and it just says great service, that won't be as helpful to your business as a 5-star rating with some specific examples. Yeah, so-and-so was very helpful. He was really easy to work with. Kind of give some more examples. That's kind of what this is talking about when it mentions quality. And then, of course, quantity, how many you have.
Yeah, and kind of going back to that quality, if they mention, car accident in that review, that's gold. That is SEO gold right there. That's going to help people find your firm if you do car accident, if you do personal injury, for example. If they mention the area of practice, that is going to help Google connect people looking for you much quicker and much easier, especially if you handle multiple different areas of practice there. Make sure that people are reviewing each and every one of those.
So now we're going to go a little bit into best practices for collecting reviews. The first one we have is deliver high quality customer service. That should be your number one priority. We see here 66% of customers will switch companies if they have a bad experience. That's going back to what we were talking about earlier. Convenience is more important than loyalty, and so is a high quality customer experience. And as you focus on the client experience, you'll have this majority, like we were talking about, that are happy with their service. And then as you ask for reviews, it'll be more of a better representation of your actual service.
Absolutely. Going next is timing is huge, especially, within your area of practice there. If it's a personal injury case, when they're picking up that settlement check, there's not a better time to send out their review invitation, before that client's even left the office. If it's estate planning, if you guys are doing seminars, those lunch and learns, maybe you're not even taking people on as clients, but you're adding value, helping people out and, giving out advice and free legal counsel, that's an excellent time to send out review invitations as well. Any sort of free consultation that someone, is leaving the office is a lot happier, a lot more calm and less scared of the situation they're in. If you can't capitalize on, if they're not able to cut you a check or, it's not appropriate for, you to take that case, the least they can do is leave a review for you.
You can also set expectations for reviews. This last sentence puts it really well. Before the client leaves, you should let them know when and how they will receive the invite and why it's important for them to respond. You can tell them it means a lot to our firm if you let us know how you feel. You're not soliciting only positive reviews. You're asking them to leave honest reviews. And if you follow the first step in delivering high quality customer service, most of them will be positive.
Awesome. Now, doing this, there's a couple different ways you can invite your clients to leave reviews. A lot of firms do it through email, some do it through postcards, some just do it verbally. The most effective way is to do it through text message. Text messages have above a 99% open rate. And like we said, we saw earlier, most people have a smartphone and most of your clients will have a smartphone. And this will enable them to leave a review before they've left your office there. It's going to be on a separate device, so you don't have to worry about, the IP address problem. So like, for example, if you had a computer out where people could leave reviews or an iPad at the firm, Google is actually not going to let those reviews stick around long because they're going to recognize that coming from the same device. But because every one of your clients will have a separate smartphone, that's how those reviews are going to stick around. So sending it through text is going to give you the highest results by a ton there.
And going back to setting expectations for the review, if you let them know, hey, I'm going to send you a text right now with a review. If you'd please leave me a review, that would be really helpful. And they'll know that you're going to send a text now and they can just click the link. It's really easy. It'll take them right to the spot on Google and they can leave a review. And that leads into our next step, which is eliminate barriers. Create a frictionless process for both you and your staff and clients that will make it ridiculously easy to send invites and leave reviews. Like we were saying, the majority of people are happy, but it's hard to leave reviews. I remember sometimes when we go to the grocery store, we get the receipt and they say, fill in this URL and then take a survey and give us your feedback or leave us a review, which means I have to go on my phone or my computer, keep the receipt and type in the entire URL to get to the survey or the review site that they want me to go to. And that's too many barriers for me. I usually forget, I don't have time, but if they were to send me a link to the survey or to the review site, that would eliminate so many barriers for me.
Awesome. Now, where these reviews are going is going to make a huge impact. Like we talked about earlier, 87% of all searches begin on Google. That is where you want those reviews going. Now, if the client doesn't have any sort of Google account, or if you're trying to, running a Facebook marketing campaign, or, maybe Avo or lawyers.com, it could be beneficial to push reviews to other sites as well. And so, as far as the sites we'd recommend for attorneys, Google would be number one, Facebook would be number two, and then number three would be tied between Avo or lawyers.com, depending on how you're doing your advertising. After that, we're going to see, less than 1% of people begin their search, but sites like Better Business Bureau, Yelp, and just these other little microsites there. One thing to be careful of is Yelp actually doesn't allow for any solicitation of reviews, which, if you were a hair salon or a restaurant, that could be a problem. But we actually see with the amount of people looking for attorneys on Yelp isn't, a notable number that much at all. So it's not something you have to worry about too much.
And the interesting part about this process is we talked about, why local search matters, how you can rank on local search, and best practices for getting more reviews. People will find you using your reviews, and then as more people will come to you and more people will leave reviews, it's just a vicious cycle that works in your benefit. People find you with reviews and leave you reviews, so you're getting more and more reviews and more customers.